Yes, I realize I'm drinking through this one too. I don't have a problem. I wish to assure you. This is just something I need. Talking about this movie and what could have been. It's a bummer. Um, I am interested in seeing it again and seeing if anything plays better for me. My experience at that particular theater, which I've gone to in the past, I generally have lousy movie-going experiences there, which may have contributed somewhat. I don't know. I'm gonna give it another shot at some point down the road. I'm in no hurry to do it to myself again. But yeah, going in a little deeper today into um, the issues that I have with this film. I'm gonna go ahead and glance over the pros again. Once again, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lee Curtis, a great. She gives it her all. She commits to the material, and definitely she's treated better than she was in Resurrection. That was not an easy, not a difficult thing to do. Um, is she treated better than she was treated in H2O? Good question. I think she pretty much kept herself afloat through both of these films, and whenever she's on screen, it's pretty golden. And there's even a moment in this new one where I think she's parodying the alternate reality H2O Laurie Strode with the wine drinking scene. It's played for laughs. Doesn't really work. We'll get into that later. That's kind of a recurring theme in this film. But she fucking kicks ass, and I just wish they'd given her a little more to work with. This idea is great. Laurie as a character, as a trauma victim, who is still stuck basically in fight or flight mode from that night, and she's chosen fight, where when she was in the moment last time, she chose flight. She has a very, very complicated, dysfunctional relationship with her family, and all that stuff is really interesting. I don't know if it's fleshed out as well as it could have been. One of my main issues with this film is the dialogue all the way through. The dialogue in Halloween 1 was not Shakespeare by any means, but they're going for these particular themes in this film. Specifically, the effect that the trauma of one individual can have on a large group of people, family and otherwise. So, if you're going to address this kind of subject matter, I think a little taste is called for, and a writer who understands subtext. All this dialogue is so fucking on the nose, and these metaphors that the audience could put together for themselves are being spelled out for them by the characters, and I found that very insulting. It's one of the elements. Basically, something is only a flaw for me in a movie if it takes me out of the movie. You know what I mean? In a way that's different than like seeing the string on a spaceship or a zipper running down a monster's back, because oftentimes those experiences are, that's a part of it, and it is a magical world that's created by the fact that you can tell that it's completely fake. It's hard to explain, but you know what I'm talking about. I know you do. So here, yeah, there are a lot of things in this film that yank me out of the movie, and that's the bottom line. I was never able to immerse myself. A movie is supposed to kind of take over your life for a while, and you give your attention to it, and it rewards you with an interesting and compelling story, interestingly enough told to keep you on board. The story is interesting, it's just not very well told. There we go. I could stop this review right now and feel happy about that summation, but I will not. I've got a few pages here. Where do we go to next? The opening credit sequence. That was another plus. It was a great kind of comment, and it stated their intent, I think, in a way that was wonderful. That rotted Halloween 1 pumpkin coming back to life in time lapse. Great idea. And I love the fact that they had an opening sequence again, which a lot of movies these days either choose not to do or superimpose over, a scene with action going on. I understand times and trends change, but to me, it's always been this way. An opening credit sequence is a way to hypnotize yourself. You know, it's the transition, you know, into the world of the movie. That's what it's always been for me. So like, there's a very ritualistic element to it that I think I would argue is important. You know, sometimes it really does work to just be dropped into a movie cold. But you know, I mean, sometimes you want to cast a spell, and I'm gonna go ahead and plant my flag on the line that tonal continuity is very important in a sequel franchise. It has to feel and probably look as well. Not that you can't have variation and creativity, but you just have to feel it, you know. And that was something that really, like so many other people, kind of kept me from seeing a lot of The Force Awakens as flaws when I first saw it. I was just so thrilled and elated that it looked and felt like a fucking Star Wars movie after a decade of awfulness. And that's one subjective, irrational thing that I really personally wanted to feel with this movie. I wanted it to look and feel like a fucking Halloween movie, like I was in that world again. That's the one major saving grace of Halloween 2 from the 1981 version. However, this movie, as I mentioned in the previous video, suffers from really erratic, unfocused editing. Unfocused is a great word that I've heard a lot of critics use when negatively discussing this film, and it's a very appropriate word, and it is definitely the fatal flaw this movie has. The opening credit sequence, it's great, but they just rush through it so fucking quickly. You can hear multiple edits in the main theme, you know, just for time, you know, which defeats the purpose in a way of that transition of the opening credit sequence, you know, just that little psychological ritual there. Yeah. Hey babe, how's it going?
Baby.
Just shooting a video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. This will be a two-parter. I'll do part 2 later.